Quanji 9 to 5. 9-5 means a flying dragon in the sky. A golden man, a flying golden man. The emperor shouted in the dream. Emperor Xiao Ming woke up from his dream. He remembered clearly how this golden man flew to the front gate of the palace, and a shining sunwheel was seen distinctly behind his head and neck. The next morning, as usual, the emperor would attend the morning meeting with his officers. He told them about his strange dream and asked if any one of them could give him an interpretation. An emperor's dream is very important, as it is closely related to the fate of his people and country. His officers, who are well versed in astrology and divine prediction, will have to give an explanation to see if the dream is auspicious or a bad omen. An officer by the name Fu Yi answered, "I heard there was a god in the Western Territory. They call him Buddha. I think Your Majesty must be dreaming of him. The gods and spiritual beings in the Chinese culture do not have a shining sunwheel behind their head." Another officer by the name Wang Zun, a well-learned man who was the education minister, then answered, "Your Majesty, according to the Zhao Book of Strange Records, it is thus stated. The Buddha was born during the reign of the Emperor Zhao Zhao, the 26th year of the Jiayan and Zhou dynasty. At that time, the small streams and big rivers were strangely well up to the brim of the banks. The great earth vibrated in bright light of 5 colors were seen shooting up to the sky. A man by the name Suyo calculated according to the divine book and got this answer. Qian Gua 9-5, which means a flying dragon in the sky, the ultimate number, the most auspicious number. He said, "This auspiciousness means a great sage is born. His teaching will come to our country after 1,000 years. The emperor ordered that the occurrence be recorded and carved on a stone plate and buried in the southern outskirt. Later, during the reign of the Emperor Zhao Mu, the great earth again vibrated, and 12 rainbows were seen shooting up to the sky in the broad daylight. The whole earth was shone under the colorful lights." The officer Hu Duo calculated and got the answer. It is the revelation of a great sage in the West who has attained the perfect stillness. The birth of the Buddha and his attainment of stillness were witnessed by the Chinese in these strange occurrences. Even though the Dharma sound had not arrived, the Buddha lights were seen by the people in China. The above happening occurred in China during the Hohan dynasty, or sometimes known as Danhan, in the year Genshen, the 3rd year of Yangping, during the reign of Xiao Ming emperor. On hearing the predictions of his officers, the emperor Xiao Ming was a man of great wisdom and decided to send Kaiyin, Jingjing, Wang Zun, altogether 18 officers to India, to seek the Dharma to bring the triple jewel back to China. When they arrived in India, they met with the Dharma master Kasyapa, Matanga, and Dharma Ratna. The Dharma books, the Buddha images, the Buddha Shura were brought back to China on the back of white horses. This was to show great respect to the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. They arrived in China in the year Ding Mao, the 10th year of Yongping. The emperor was most happy in order to build the White Horse Temple for the Dharma masters to translate the sutras. The first sutra that was translated was the Buddhist teaching on the Sutra of 42 sections. On the first day of the first month in the 14th year, the Taoist teacher by the name Chu Shanzin and his retinue of 500 Taoist cultivators appeared to the emperor to show their displeasure. They were unhappy that the emperor had paid so much attention to the new religion. They said, "Could the Buddha Dharma be better than our Taoist spiritual power?" They felt that their power was threatened and wished that a competition of setting fire to the sutras and Taoist books be carried out to see which practice was genuine and efficacious. So the big group of Taoist teachers gathered on the 15th day of the month, and their Taoist books and spiritual jewels were placed on a platform at the eastern gate of the White Horse Temple. The emperor ordered that the Buddha Shura, the sutras, and Buddha images be placed on another platform at the western gate. The Taoist masters prayed piously to the spiritual heavenly gods, asking to bestow upon them the power to protect the Taoist books from burning into ashes. They cried sadly, pleading for help from the heavens, seeking the divine Lord to empower them. They were very agitated because they were afraid they might lose. Sandalwood was piled on the books and sutras, and fire was set on both platforms. The Taoist books were burned to ashes. Before this, the Taoist teachers were able to fly into the sky, walking on the water, entering and walking about in the water, and the spiritual power to become invisible before the emperor. But now all these supernatural powers were gone, while the sutras, shuras, and Buddha images were safe, with the bright illumination of 5 colorful lights shooting up to the sky and transformed into a gigantic canopy covering all in the assembly. Even the light of the sun was covered by these bright illuminations. The Indian great master Kasyapa Matanga rose into the air and transformed himself all at ease.